Today's episode is one of the most momentous in the club's history. We celebrate return to the Memorial Stadium, which could also possibly see us being relegated out of the Premier League. I'm going to go with mixed feelings. Hey guys, and welcome to episode 32 of my Bristol Rovers FM20 playthrough. My name is James, and on today's episode we have two matches in the Premier League. First, we are back at the Memorial Stadium against Everton for the first ever Premier League match at our own ground, and then we have an away match against West Ham. That first match is also likely to be pivotal in that if we don't get a win in that match, that'll be the final nail in the coffin for our relegation. Because since you were last with me, after the positivity of the previous episode, normal service resumed and we can't stop shipping goals. We lost every single match. It was a tough run. We had Liverpool and Man United in that run as well as Southampton, who were also pushing up for European football. But I'm not going to focus on that. What I will focus on is the fact that we are 17 points behind Bournemouth, who we lost to in that run. With 6 games to go, this means anything less than a win today pretty much relegates us from the Premier League. But I've told the players not to focus on that, but instead to go into this match just treating it like any other. Other than that, we did have a youth intake. It was utterly rubbish. I think the best we had was one 3-star potential player. I won't bother showing you them. We only took 2 on, the rest have gone. But I think another example of how this club is just not set up to be in the Premier League. I think I looked at it before, and our youth rating I think is 4 compared with majority of the Premier League teams, which are 1 and 2. And I think that says it all really. But let's get into today's match. This is the first match in the Premier League at the newly rebuilt Memorial Stadium. And this is the team that is going to be facing them today. We do have a wave of injuries and suspensions that we've had all season. Jacola is now out with an injury. Kilgore is still coming back from an injury. He's been out for a couple of weeks. We've got Zane Walker is out as well. Correa is out suspended. Connolly has just picked up an injury, which is going to keep him out until tomorrow. That was picked up this week. At this point, I think these players are just exhausted. It's been such a long season. I feel like I've been through it with them, even though it's only a game. So we're just going to go into this with no expectations. Just go out there and go down swinging. And this is a team that will be trying that today. We have Trafford in goal, a back four of Holmes, Dennis, Lockyer, Long and Hoole. Clark and Rolls in central midfield. Barrett, Arzani and Lumeka are the attacking 3. And then Clark, Harris up front. One thing I have been doing the last couple of matches is not necessarily trialling different formations, but trialling different player combinations to see what seems to work best. Obviously, a lot of this is now planning towards next season. But if we can get some results out of maybe a little bit of player experimentation, that is always going to be a positive as well. I'm going to passionately say we are underdogs here, but go out and give the fans something to cheer for. It'd be nice to see how many Rovers fans have packed out the newly expanded Memorial Stadium for the first match at home. Hopefully we can give them a performance that will mark this occasion. And we have a highlight here on 8 minutes. Pickford for Everton with the goal kick. Passes it forward, but it comes all the way back to him again. Forward again to Holgate, to Gomez, to Longstaff, to Calvert-Lewin, and to Doan, to Richarlison, to Suarez. One-touch football, easily cut through us, and they makes it Everton 1-0. And it was as easy as that. Longstaff, Calvert-Lewin, Doan, to Richarlison, down, Suarez. Again, like we've had all season. Long wasn't even marking. We just can't defend. No matter how well the number of games we've played in the last probably 3 or 4 months where our attacking players play really well. We've scored a couple of goals and we just have the leakiest defence in the league. Our players they're just not good enough. Yet again, we've got Long again and jumping with Trafford. I don't want to see it another time. Long jumping with Trafford. Both of them just flailing at the ball. And this is likely to be number 3. Doan again there. And luckily this time Trafford manages to see it over the bar. She didn't manage to get a touch on it. It's a goal kick. But we have defensively, we need to really rethink this because this is a concern not just being in the Premier League. When we're back in the Championship again, if we can't defend, if we can't get into a defensive formation where we're able to stop shipping so many goals, it's going to end up being back-to-back relegations. I think I really do need to consider it, because we're playing both Long and Kilgore 3.5-star defenders. Lockyer's a 3-star defender. I mean, they should be good enough to, at the very least, be able to not concede 3 goals before half time. But this is going to be probably, I think, the third match in about 5 where we have shipped 3 goals in the first half, and this is just another utter embarrassment. Right, it's time for some half-time substitutions, because we are complete garbage. I'm going to bring on Kraft. I don't think it's going to make a difference. He's done nothing for us this season at all. Trafford is on a 6.3. I thought while Jacola was injured, bring him back in, but he's just proven, even in this game, that he's just not up to it yet to being a starting goalkeeper. Barrett's had an awful game already. Let's take him off. I don't want to make all 3 substitutions at half time, but I don't think it'll be very long into the second half before we start making those substitutions again. I'm going to ask for some passion. I know it's very early on. We've just had the half-time team talk, but they need a kick. And we have a Everton corner here. Lockyer manages to clear it, but only fires Richarlison to Longstaff, to Suarez, to Richarlison, passing it ball around, taking their time. And Calvert-Lewin with the ball manages to take it past. I'm not sure who that was. I think it was Lockyer there, but luckily the shot goes wide. So it's 12,500 capacity with 1,200 Everton fans. So we're looking at just over about 10,500 Rovers fans packed into the. I say packed in. In the new Memorial Stadium, we do have a capacity of 22,000, which, I mean, it's great the fact we've got that now, because if we do start to build again from the Championship, and in a couple of seasons' time push for the Premier League again, at least we know we've got that capacity. But I don't think the way we're playing at the moment we're going to get anywhere near the capacity of the new stadium. But Lumeka has the ball there to Clark Harris. First opportunity for us, and the first clear-cut chance. We must be being FM'd here, something rotten, if they've not had a single clear-cut chance, or it shows how poorly we're actually defending if they've managed to get 3 goals out of without having a single clear-cut chance. All right, 65 minutes on the clock. Let's make the final substitution. Ollie Clark showcasing that he is not good enough for this level. Because even as a captain, he has been so poor today. Right, let's demand more. Let's do what we can. Let's go very attacking. Let's try and get even a single goal in this match. Right, Everton have the ball again, out wide to Sandro, but Holmes Dennis manages to win the ball back. Puts it forward, but can he find a Rovers player? No, he cannot. He can only find Everton. They look to bring it forward, but the wayward header goes as far as Kraft. Kraft looks to bring it forward along the right-hand side instead. But he is being chased down by Richarlison, loses the ball so easily, and Richarlison brings the ball forward again. Long is about to get sent off, just to add insult to injury. What a stupid tackle. And he's meant to be our best central defender. Right, we'll drop Bayliss back to defensive midfield. Play him as a half-back there. There's no point playing him as far back as a defender, because he's not suited for that area. We'll pull Arzani back as well, but put him on an attacking instruction and just see out this match, because I think that is pretty much it. But Everton do have a throw in here, out wide. Sandro, Suarez, Zappacosta to Sigurdsson, to Richarlison, just wide of the post. And we managed to hold it at 3-0. Right, we have a highlight this time. Holmes Dennis with the throw in to Giannelli, to Clark Harris. Looking out wide for, I presume that was Lumeka out wide, but Everton look to bring it forward again. Good tackle there by Kraft. And back to Trafford. We look to bring it forward once more. Lockyer, Bayliss. Looking for, I believe that's Giannelli out wide, and we lose the ball again. Everton is passing the ball around now, just looking to play out the clock. Zappacosta bringing it forward to Sandro, who's wide, who's in on goal, 1-on-1. Yet again, for a fourth time today, they tear through our defence and make Everton 4, Bristol Rovers 0. This is not the first performance we've had like this season, but I was hoping that the players at least try and put something in for what was the opening of the rebuilt stadium. But it appears that I think the team is lost, the team is broken, and I think this about confirms our relegation at this point. And that is it. Everton 4, Bristol Rovers 0. Another poor display, which I think will see us as relegated. I would presume we're still 17 points. There we go. Bristol Rovers relegated. It's been a long time coming. We can at least now focus on the next season. We already have our initial budgets, which are going to be £11 million. Okay, we've actually got some budget for next season. Especially as there likely to be a couple of players that won't be wanting to leave, well, obviously with our relegation as well. But we'll try and keep the team together as much as we can. Right, now on to the second match of today's episode. Well, we've had a miserable season. We've just been relegated. But here's a bit of positivity. We have made the second most profit in the Premier League behind, not surprising, Manchester United, who have earned £115 million this season. We have earned £54 million. I believe of which, 26.5 million are still in the bank. That's definitely some, and we'll get some presumably parachute payments when we drop down to Championship as well. So there's a positive. If anything, the miserable season we've had has provided financial stability, hopefully, for a couple of seasons. And here we are for the second and what I think is likely to be the final match of our Premier League season on an episode. So let's get into this match. And the final team you'll see in the Premier League this season on an episode is Trafford in goal, a back four of Holmes, Dennis, Lockyer, Kilgore and Hoole, and John Joe and Rolls in central midfield, with Barrett, Arzani and Lumeka as the attacking three, with Clark Harris leading the line as he has done pretty much all season. One thing I won't be doing is I won't be bringing back either Kraft or Nkita. I think it's unlikely we'd get them back anyway, dropping down to the Championship. But both have been fairly poor for us this season. Nkita has shown a couple of times when he's come on as a substitute. He's shown a little bit of spark, but for most of the season has played very poorly. Kraft has done nothing really apart from getting sent off. I think at least once during this season. So I think both of those are likely to be players that won't be coming back. In terms of other players that we'd like to see go, Arzani and Korea have both activated a relegation release clause. I believe Arzani's is £21.5 million, whereas Korea's I think is closer to 12-13 million pounds. And so they're likely to have a lot of interest from other clubs. So we're interested to see if we can try and keep those throughout the season. And as I've been talking there, West Ham have put us 1-0 down away at the London Stadium. And I want to see that highlight again. But we do have a highlight straight away here with Hull with a free kick to Lameka, to Rolls, to Hull. Playing it back to Kilgore, trying to play it forward. I'm not sure who that was meant to be to, but West Ham won the ball back again. Putting it through. Haller in masses of space. Goes to put it in, but Trafford this time makes a save and puts it over. And West Ham get a corner with Adrian right at the back post to Formals, I think that was Fornals. But Fornals puts it over and can't get his second goal of the match. Right, another highlight here. Trafford with the ball. Big ball forward. Can't find a Rovers player. And West Ham look to bring the ball forward yet again. I think one thing I might do in this match is try and change things up a little bit. This formation was working very briefly. Now appears to not be working at all. And we cannot defend at all. So I think on 23 minutes, I'm going to switch us around already. Let's play a cautious Route 1 4-3-3. Right, we'll bring on I think Ollie Clark's probably the best suited for dropping back into defensive midfield. Let's play him as a defensive midfielder. John Joe will play as the attacking advanced playmaker, and we'll switch Arzani to an inverted winger. And let's give that a try and see if that makes any difference at all. Right, West Ham have a corner with Anderson to Cardoso, and from yet another set piece, They make it West Ham 3, Bristol Rovers 0, and yet again we've conceded 3 goals before half time. I'm ended up like a broken record at this point. It just seems to be the same. I think we honestly have, because the players have given up. I think the players are already on their summer holidays. They don't seem to have any fight in them anymore. And I think this is pretty much it now. This is how the rest of the season is going to be. But Arzani has, from a free kick, managed to pull one back. I'm not sure if it's going to make any difference. I mean, we do still have majority of the match still to go. But and this is what I've been saying. Holmes Dennis with the ball forward, 2 Arzani's in space, knocks it in. This is what has been happening. Attacking going forward, we've actually been okay. We just cannot hold. We cannot hold our defensive shape at all, regardless of what formation or what mentality we have. But going into half time, we've given ourselves the lifeline there. It is West Ham 3, Bristol Rovers 1. I'm going to say assertively, it's been awful. Go out there, just do something in the second half that gives any indication at all that we might still want to fight, even if we have been relegated. Right, almost 75 minutes on the clock. Let's make our final couple of substitutions. And John Joe's had a terrible match. Let's take him off and bring on Bayliss. I'm going to take Clark Harris off. Let's bring on Phillips. Let's bring on a youngster to have a run around and see what he can do. Right, we have a corner with Barrett into the centre, but only as far as Rice. Rolls collects the ball to Lockyer. To Kilgore. We're slowly, though, going backwards. Clark with the ball now. To Kilgore. Surely he's got a bit of space now, can bring it forward. But he cannot find the pass, so it goes back to Clark. This is going to end up right back with our goalkeeper at this rate. To Lockyer. Lockyer manages to push it forward, though. But it only goes as far as Hall. To Clark. To Bayliss. This is supposed to be a Route 1 formation, and currently this is not Route 1, but Barrett there with a cross into the centre. To Rolls on the volley, but he cannot get it on target. And that is it. I think as a summary for our season, quite an apt final result for the final episode in the Premier League for this season. We just we write the season off as an experience, as an opportunity to be able to gain some financial stability at the club. Hopefully move on to a more positive season next season. Well, we've finally been confirmed as relegated, but if you did enjoy that episode, please give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon to be notified of brand new FM20 videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 5 PM. And thank you very much for watching.